Hi, y'all. So I'm going to discuss with you the cultural artifact speech. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that, and then you can reach out to me with email or Canvas for any questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and record or share my screen. Sorry, it took me a minute. Here we go. So this is our class webpage. Mine looks a little bit different, but let's just go to your class. And they're both the same class, just FYI. Files, cultural artifact speech, and then I'm going to talk to you about the online cultural artifact speech assignment. Okay, so if you want to read along, feel free. So the purpose of this assignment is to learn more about each other and the cultures represented in our classroom, as well as to gain practice developing and delivering a speech. So let me reinforce that. This is practice for developing and delivering a speech. The cultural artifact speech is a product of our increasingly diverse culture, especially here at El Camino. It's a speech that allows us to know more about the many cultures represented in our country as well as our classroom. So the best cultural artifact speech will teach us about the artifact that is the focus and the culture which the artifact comes from. Yes, you need a physical, tangible object that represents the culture you are talking about. It cannot be a picture, it cannot be anything illegal. So make sure it is an artifact. Moving on, therefore, you will need to choose a physical item that has both personal and cultural significance. The history of the item should come as second nature to you, and you will need to explain how the object represents the culture and not just how the object is used. Okay, so what I would be doing right now is I would be brainstorming and thinking about all the cultures I belong to. And the first thing that I want to tell you all is culture is more than just your race and your ethnicity and your nationality. Culture is anything that you belong to. Hobbies, what do you do in your free time? What's something that you enjoy doing? So telling us a little bit more about you. So on the day of your speech, you will be recording your speeches, right? You need to have your keyword note card, and there's a video about that, on how to do that. You're going to need to bring your cultural artifact, and you're going to want to either record your speech on your own, which, I mean, I guess that's what you're doing, right? But you're going to do your self-reflection right after that. So note, the speech is 4 to 6 minutes and about 50 points. And if you go under 4 minutes or over 6 minutes, you lose 1 point per 10 seconds. Okay, so if you speak for 3 minutes and 30 seconds, you will lose 3 points. If you speak for 7 minutes, you will lose 6 points. So in the past, I have had multiple speeches about maybe it is karate, maybe it is baking, maybe it is reading or listening to audiobooks, maybe it is surfing. It's just any culture that you belong to that essentially has words and a language system that are unique to that culture. And unless you belong to that culture, you don't know what that means. Okay. All right. So let me just recap. Your purpose is to gain practice developing and delivering a speech. I do not expect you to be perfect. This is practice, okay? You're gonna choose an object that comes as second nature to you. You're gonna talk about that culture, and you're not gonna have any sources because this speech is only about you. You don't need any sources for this speech, okay? So after you come up with your topic, well, actually, I'm going to just take you through this folder so you can use your skills. Right here is how I'm going to be grading you. Here's your self-reflection that you're going to fill out after you complete your speech, and then you're going to upload it to Canvas. Here is an example of an outline, a speaking outline. Here is your cultural artifact peer workshop, where you're going to get with 2 more of your classmates, and you're going to exchange outlines, and you're going to do this activity together. You can reply to an announcement that I post. You can reach out on the left-hand side of Canvas. It says people. You can reach out to certain people. So that's really going to be up to you. But yes, you have to have classmates do this activity with you. Then we have the grading rubric, how I'm going to be grading you. And this is your skeletal outline. So this is what you're going to turn into me. So here are the directions. Use this outline to create a rough draft of your cultural artifact speech. You will keep the things in bold or underlined. Therefore, like, look, introduction, attention getter, background, all those things you're going to keep. And type over the prompts highlighted in yellow with your own content. So first thing, you need an attention getter, background and revealed object, thesis, central idea, preview of main points. Okay. And right here, it has numbers. So your introduction should be 5 to 10% of your speech. Your body is 75 to 80% of your speech. And then your conclusion is another 5 to 10% of your speech. And again, the things in yellow you highlight and you type over with your information regarding your culture and your object. Okay. And then once you do that, you're going to upload this to Canvas by the due date, and see Canvas for the due date. Okay. So one more time to make this clear. This is what you're going to download. You're going to type over the yellow with your information, save it, and upload it to Canvas so I can grade it. All right. And here's where we were, the cultural artifact speech assignment. So we're back to where we were. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing. So that is what you need to do for the cultural artifact speech. And again, the best cultural artifact speeches are something that comes as second nature to you. So for me, part of my identity and a culture that I belong to is I'm a wiener dog mom, right? So wiener dog moms and parents are unique in the fact that we have to, we go to wiener dog races. Fun fact, my wiener dog won 3rd place in a race in Huntington Beach about 5 years ago. So that's a culture I belong to. I'm a wiener dog mom. I'm also travel, and this is St. Christopher that my siblings gave to me because I lived in Mexico for 6 months. So take inventory of your life. What do you want to talk about? Remember that it's not just about race, ethnicity, nationality. Get creative, and let me know if you have any questions. All right, y'all, have a great day. Bye.